How's it going, troops? Jordan here, back again with another Battlefield 1 video, and welcome to the first of many Battlefield 1 weapon guides. Throughout this Battlefield 1 weapon guide series, I will be taking a look at some of the more popular weapons that you get to use in the multiplayer of Battlefield 1, sharing some information about the weapon, sharing some stats and figures, as well as giving my own recommended configuration when using the weapon in game. So to kick off this weapon guide series, I thought we'd take a look at one of the more popular weapons that is used within the assault kit, and that weapon is the MP-18. So the MP-18 is a submachine gun that you find in the assault kit that you get to unlock immediately at assault rank 1. The MP-18, as noted in Battlefield 1, is a German weapon that was actually used for the German Empire towards the end of World War I and was manufactured by Theodor Bergmann. In Battlefield 1, the MP-18 is a very fine weapon to use in close range due to its great hipfire accuracy as well as low recoil. Many German soldiers in World War I nicknamed this weapon the Grabenfeger, which translates over to trench sweepers because of how highly effective the weapon was in trenches. In Battlefield 1, the MP-18 has 3 different variants to it. We have the trench variant, which gives the best hipfire accuracy out of the 3. You have the optical variant, which equips the MP-18 with a globe sight, increasing aimed accuracy over hipfire accuracy. And finally, we have the experimental variant, that tries to bridge both the trench and optical variants. However though, the one thing that differs with the experimental variant is that the fire mode is in 3-round burst, as opposed to being fully automatic. Now I've actually compared all of these variants together, just so I can find which variant shines the best out of each of them. And from my tests and information gathered, I can safely say that the optical variant is the winner out of the 3. But in my personal opinion, I would stick with the default variant, that being the MP-18 trench. The recoil pattern of the MP-18 is very low compared to other weapons in game, but like many other weapons in Battlefield 1, the recoil does tend to rise up quite a bit. So in close quarters, it might be best to hold the trigger down, but into those medium ranges you definitely want to burst fire. The iron sights of the MP-18 are also quite clear, with a rear notch and front post pin, providing a clear view on target. So let's move on to some stats and figures about the MP-18 in Battlefield 1. The reload time of the MP-18 is at 2.1 seconds, which previously it was a bit higher, but I believe in one of the recent patches the MP-18 has had a slight buff, meaning that the reload time is a bit shorter now. This means it doesn't take that long for the reload to happen, meaning you can get back into the action as soon as. The rate of fire of the MP-18 is at 550 rounds per minute, and that includes both the fully automatic variants of the MP-18 as well as the 3-round burst experimental variant. The fire rate is not bad, it's definitely a lot lower than other weapons such as the Automatico M1918, but because of this low fire rate it means that the recoil is a lot more controllable than the Automatico, so those 2 variants do kind of balance each other. The magazine size of the MP-18 is at a healthy 32 rounds, which is much higher than a lot of the other weapons in game. And finally, the damage figures for the MP-18. Up close it's going to take roughly about 23 damage per shot, which equates to 5 shots to kill up close. Dropping off to those medium to longer ranges though, the weapon will deal the damage of 13.5, which equates to an 8-shot kill at long range. So as you can already guess, it's much better to use this weapon in close proximity rather than medium to longer ranges, where you're going to be firing off a lot more bullets than usual. And lastly, let's take a look at my recommended configuration when running around with the MP-18 in Battlefield 1 multiplayer. For the sights of the MP-18 we have 2 different choices. We can go with a very specialised buckhorn iron sight, or we can choose the default iron sights. Now this really all comes down to personal preference, but for me I think that the normal iron sights of the MP-18 is much better and it doesn't really get in the way too much, it's quite clean and precise. So I'm going to be sticking with the plain old irons. For the magnification, I find that it's just best to stick with the 1.25 times zoom, which is the default zoom that comes along with this weapon. Mainly because we're not going to be using the weapon in medium to long ranges, it's only going to be in close range, so there's no need to bring up the magnification anymore. And finally, for my barrel slots, we can either go with a bayonet or we can take off the bayonet. And personally with the MP-18, I'm not going to have a bayonet equipped, and the reason for this mainly is because the time it takes from sprinting to actually putting up the weapon ready to fire is actually decreased without the bayonet, which means that the weapon is going to be quicker to fire without the bayonet than with it. Additionally, we are going to be using the MP-18 in close quarters, so the bayonet isn't really going to be too useful for us unless the weapon was built for longer distances. So troops, that has wrapped up my weapon guide for the MP-18 Submachine Gun. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, then do give the video a thumbs up, I would appreciate it a lot. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, then make sure to do so for more Battlefield 1 weapon guides. So until the next video, I thank you all for watching, stay true to me troops, and I'll see you in game.